So welcome back to another episode of Analyzing Awfulness, where we break down whether or not the OP is in the right or the wrong, while offering unsolicited advice regarding the situations. Today we'll be talking about a bride-to-be who wants to invite her brother's girlfriend to her wedding, but due to a toxic best friend, it's more trouble than it originally seems. Let's get into it. It reads, I kinda know I'm the a-hole, but I need to know how bad it was. My brother is 29 and has been with Leah for about 2 years. We all like her. She is super nice. I'm getting married next April and sent an invite to my brother's apartment. We decided to send invites to households and not individuals. For example, our aunt received an invite for her family and not for each individual. So just to clarify in case it's still confusing because I can see how it could be, the invite sent to each house invited every person that was a part of the household, so this insinuates that the brother and his girlfriend are currently living together. Anyway, last Thursday we met at my parents' place. It was just the core family because of some tax reasons, lol. Now this felt really out of nowhere for me and I couldn't figure out for the life of me what kind of tax reasons would make it so some family members needed to gather and not others. But then there was an edit that added some context. It reads, the tax thing is nothing huge. My parents have a small business but are really bad at keeping track of all of their receipts. So every month we go and help them out. We digitalize the receipts and put them in a bookkeeping software for the accountant. So it seems like as OP put it, core family all just show up to help out because their parents need it and it's not that big of a deal. It's honestly really sweet without even meaning to be and adds some context to the relationship between the siblings and their parents. They are close, they are there for one another, which may become important later. While there, I asked my brother about Leah's dietary restrictions. I know that she is a vegetarian for health reasons and that she cannot have certain raw vegetables. It's not necessarily important to the story itself, but I am curious of what health reasons would restrict one's diet to vegetables, but also make it so they can't eat some of those vegetables raw. If anyone has any idea on that, then please comment that below because I am super curious. He said that she wasn't going to come and that he was taking his girl best friend, Amanda, instead. Now their relationship is weird AF. Amanda has always been stringing my brother along, in my opinion. He always denies having feelings for her, but let's be real here. Amanda would date other guys, blow off my brother, then when things were on the decline with her partner, she would be attached to him again. I've been in a situation similar to this one. I've had some girl best friends in my time, but a couple of them were really bad for me and I spent a long time trying not to believe it. One in particular would date guys and she had terrible taste, but every time something went wrong, I was the guy that she came to. We were best friends, so that made sense, but whenever she would be single or her relationship was going really bad, she would treat me differently and it really messed with my self-worth, especially with some of the things that she said, ways that she would get super close to me and act around me. Stuff like that. I may make a video going into more detail one day, but felt like it was worth mentioning given the situation. I don't want to get into it too much now though, so let's go back to the post. Her last boyfriend broke up with her right around the time my brother, his then ex-girlfriend Amanda, and her ex were supposed to travel to Spain. What did my idiot brother do? Go with Amanda alone because Amanda was uncomfortable with his ex-girlfriend. Obviously he acted blindsided when his girlfriend broke up with him. I didn't even say anything anymore because it's also weird. Okay, so I'm a little confused honestly. Did OP's brother have a girlfriend and yet plan a trip with his ex and Amanda's ex and then go with only Amanda? Because if so, then homie, your girlfriend should have broke up with you no matter what. No matter if you went with the group or went with just Amanda because you didn't go with her. Like, what? Or did OP actually mean to say that he was supposed to go with his girlfriend at the time, who is now his ex, even though yes, I know that counteracts the fact that she says then ex-girlfriend, but moving on, since instead of going with her and the other two, he went with Amanda alone, which caused them to break up and that's how she became his ex-girlfriend. Actually, wait, why did Amanda agree to go without her +1 if that was the case? I'm sorry, what? Did Did she have a boyfriend, or was she going with an ex-boyfriend? And even so, why would she go with just the brother? I am so confused right now because the way OP worded this and the small amount of elaboration has left this up to so many different interpretations as I try to make sense of it, which would be nice if I could because it does help explain the relationship between the brother and Amanda, but I have no freaking clue, so I guess we're just gonna move on. So when he said that, I asked if Leah already had other plans, but my brother said that Amanda had asked if she could come because it would be an opportunity to finally see the old gang. Although it could be a genuine reason, the get the gang back together excuse feels kind of manipulative given the context that we know about the relationship between Amanda and OP's brother. She needed a reason to come and that one worked on him, you know? But nonetheless, the fact that his brother discussed it with his best friend before his girlfriend is maddening to me. Like, homie, you're in a relationship with someone that obviously loves and cares about you and your family enough to get along with your family and let you have this terrible best friend in the process that is super toxic and super weird and uncomfortable with you. She's okay with all of that because she cares about you, and you would risk that by your first thought being, oh frick, I need to talk to Amanda about my sister's wedding instead of my girlfriend. What thought process is this? You can't deny having feelings for Amanda if she is the first person that comes to your mind when something this important happens. This is a once in your lifetime type of thing. Your sister may only get married once. You may only have the opportunity to see your sister get married once. It's an important big deal. This is life-changing for her. And your first conceivable thought is, frick, I need to invite Amanda. I need to talk to my best friend about this. Oh, I had a girlfriend? I totally forgot. This is, I don't know, man. You're not really helping your case here. Let's go back to the story before I have an aneurysm. I told him that I would have invited Amanda if I wanted her there. Okay, we're actually gonna step away from the story so I can talk again. Because even before we learn about why, this is valid regardless of the reason. Even if there wasn't even a reason. It is your wedding, OP. You don't need a reason for who you invite and who that you don't. It's that simple. I don't even know what else to say. Overstepping that for your uncomfortable dynamic with your best friend is crazy disrespectful. Be a better brother, bro, for real. But let's learn more about why Amanda wasn't invited for the sake of getting the story right, even though I am very much on OP's side and probably will be all the way to the end. Amanda is mean and cold. She always makes disparaging comments about other girls. At every event around 1 hour in, she will make some sort of scene that either has her running away, crying, or sitting mad at a table telling everyone to leave her alone, and then making a cryptic comment about someone hurting her. She's the worst type of person then, especially to have in public or important events in general. She's hateful, breaks people down just to build herself up. Definitely not a pleasant person to have around even before she gets moody out of the blue and then uses that to bring all the attention onto herself. Gross. Always needing to be the center of attention at the cost of the enjoyment of others is super self-centered, especially when you actively go out of your way to make others feel bad in the process, and it's definitely not the kind of vibe I would want at my wedding. You know, that important event that I discussed earlier. Now, I am super sympathetic to people that are predisposed to mood swings due to health issues or things entirely out of their control, but as someone with their own mental health issues, with friends that have it worse than me, I've had a lot of experience with situations such as these. There's not really a way to entirely fix the problem, but with some medication there are ways to either help with controlling it or dealing with it in some regard. Someone that can take a trip to another frickin' country is fully capable of accessing that healthcare. She has no excuse for acting like a spoiled child. End of story. I told my brother I was revoking his +1 and Amanda was not coming to our our wedding. Which again, she has every right to do. It's her wedding after all. No matter what her brother has to say to this, it's still not his place to make a fuss to begin with. He does though, of course, I'm sure. He accused me of being misogynistic and bigoted because I don't understand opposite sex friendships, which is BS. My husband has a female childhood friend who is his best woman. I love her too, and she has been amazing, and she respects effing boundaries. She always includes me and made a huge effort when I started dating my fiance to integrate me into the friend group. Even without the justification from OP here, those accusations are still wild. Every time someone doesn't have an actual argument, they resort to buzzwords like bigotry and misogynistic, even though calling someone a bigot because they disagree with something that you believe happens to be bigotry itself. Crazy. In this situation, however, there's not even a justifiable case for calling OP a bigot to begin with. Again, as I've stated before, it's her wedding. It has nothing to do with conflicting beliefs or being discriminatory based on said beliefs. It's just her planning her own wedding the way that she wants it to go and the way that she has every right to. Insulting her over that is wild, and you, even as her brother, have no room to do so. Accusing your sister, whom is female, of misogyny is crazy as well. This entire interaction has nothing to do with social status in any way, shape, or form. It has nothing to do with keeping women at a lower status, and it's blatantly stupid to make that accusation to a woman who is also your sister to begin with. The dude was obviously just angry and trying to hurt OP, while also making an argument, even though his judgment was clouded with emotion. This, in my opinion, confirms the feelings he has for Amanda. I wouldn't react so emotionally over my best friend not being invited to a wedding over the literal woman I'm supposed to be in love with. Homie, you need to get those feelings sorted out, because you have a significant other in this life that doesn't deserve to be treated as an afterthought for the sake of what seems like an emotionally manipulative, toxic, undeserving relationship with your best friend. Anyway, I said my decision was final. He could take it or leave it, but I would be inviting Leah myself because I like her. He screamed at me and told me to keep out of his business. I said to get rid of his weird freaking feelings for Amanda. He is mad at me. My dad said is none of our deal. What? My mom is furious with my brother, so am I the a-ho. No, you're not the butthole. Not even remotely close. Every decision made in this situation was entirely justified. As I've said throughout this, it is your wedding. It doesn't matter how your brother feels, or his clingy toxic as heck bestie, or your mom, or your dad. This is your day. You, your husband, and God. That's it. What is best for you and your man is all that matters in terms of opinions, period. And your brother telling you that you need to stay out of his business was absolutely ridiculous. Like, there is no justification for that. This wedding is your business. He is trying to insert himself and how he feels into your business, not you doing that to him. You offered your opinion on Amanda because he kept trying to push her into your wedding. He made his business your business by trying to insert himself into your business. This man makes no sense to me. Nothing that he has said makes any logical sense to me. Homie seems really narcissistic at this point. Now, when it comes to your brother, I'm not saying he's some kind of jerk nozzle all the time, okay? That's not what's happening here. We've already established that he goes over to your parents' house and you all get together cordially so you're able to help each other out, and that seems like a really cool thing to do. He's probably a really chill guy when it's not about Amanda. But when it is about Amanda, I'm not the biggest fan of the homie's attitude from what I've heard. In fact, I'm gonna address you personally right now, random brother of random person online. You need to establish some boundaries with Amanda immediately. You are risking everything with Leah over a girl that is just going to use you as a second option for the rest of your dad blame life. And given the toxic relationship that you have with her now, given how she has clung to you, even when you were both dating other people, people and only came back to you as somebody that was like acting weirdly uncomfortable whenever her relationship was going downhill, that's when you became most important according to your sister, right? Whenever things were going bad, you were that second option. You were somebody to lean on. You were basically a rebound without any of the benefits. It feels like Amanda emotionally cheated on those guys with you, just like you've been emotionally cheating on your girlfriend with her, but you guys aren't in an actual relationship. You never go that far because she doesn't actually care about you that way. She cares about you as somebody that she can use, abuse, and disregard whenever she meets somebody else. I know, homie, I've been there. But even if by some miraculous miracle you guys end up together, if she's going to do this with you, then whenever you are finally with her, what's to say she's not gonna go find somebody else to replace you with, to have somebody else to rely on, to lean on whenever something goes bad with you? So instead of communicating with you in this hypothetical relationship, she just goes and puts all her feelings and emotion and love into a totally different guy, which just makes the relationship that you guys now have just as toxic as the one that she's gonna have with that guy, because the relationship you have currently is just as toxic, literally, as that one. I don't even know if that made sense. You just gotta get out of this, dude. You're jeopardizing something good, something that is proven to be good for you, over somebody that is proven to be bad for you. This is like eating a bunch of junk food, gaining a bunch of weight, and then wondering why you're not skinny. It's because you're eating a bunch of junk food. It's because you're being inactive and you're not actively going out of your way to change the situation, which is what you're doing right now. You're in a situation that you refuse to change because you're in denial about it, and you think other people should change to appease you when they shouldn't. Do better, homie. You're really gonna be messing yourself up further down the line if you continue to do this to yourself and do this to other people around you over this girl that definitely isn't worth it. Man, that was a big rant, and I hope it made sense, but daggone it, this story's got me fired up. I don't know what happened to the script. I left it like forever ago. I don't remember the last time I actually glanced down at it. Oh, whatever happens, OP, I hope that you can help Leah get the best outcome, the one that she deserves, since you're obviously friends with her in some regard, even if that outcome isn't with your brother. To put up with Amanda like she has, she obviously cares for him, but some people just aren't worth the energy, the pain required to keep them around. I've already addressed your brother, and I tried to give that man some kind of advice, even though I'm not a licensed professional that is supposed to do this, but I really want the best to happen, not only for you, but for him, and especially for Leah, because she kinda just feels like she's got the worst part of every situation here. I really respect you for at least thinking of her, if not as your brother's girlfriend, but as your friend, and still wanting to invite her to the wedding, knowing how good of a person she is, and how good she is for your brother, and that homie can't even figure out that what you're doing actually is for his benefit, and that has to suck, especially when he takes all of that anger that's totally unjustified and misguided out onto you. So yeah, don't be like Amanda, and if you have an Amanda in your life, you may want to seriously take into consideration whether or not she's actually contributing anything of merit, and if she is bringing some positive things to your life, then maybe consider whether or not those positive things are outweighing all of the negative ones. Not only that she is bringing to your life and putting you through, but the ones that you love and you care about. Is she mean to your friends? Is she mean to your family? Is she mean to other people? How does she treat the ones around them? Because that is the essence of what makes somebody's character good, how they treat other people. And from what I've heard about Amanda, she's kind of a dirtbag. She kind of treats other women like they're garbage. She puts them down, she belittles them, she does whatever she needs to draw attention to herself and make herself look better. She's a very selfish individual, which is demonstrated throughout this entire story, and a lot more examples that I don't know about, I'm sure. So yeah, this is just food for thought. Take your friendships and other relationships into consideration and see if they're actually beneficial for you, and especially beneficial for those that you care about most. Don't let somebody that's not even treating you well be the reason that you lose relationships with people that actually care about you and your well-being. Don't jeopardize all of that. It's not worth it. Anyway, have a great day. Thank you.